So if you all saw on the news not too long ago, Liam Payne passed away, and there's been a lot of controversy about that because he was in a hotel. There's the picture, a video came out with them hauling him up to his room and locking him in the room, and then he had a friend that was supposed to be taking care of him and watching him, Roger Norris, and the prosecution was trying to charge him for intent for not helping out, for not being there for him along the whole time, because he was supposed to be his buddy to take care of him to make sure that he's safe. And they were saying that he actually didn't, it was called an abandonment, that they abandoned him at his time of need, and he was supposed to stop him from using drugs, stop him from actually, getting involved with, again, he probably had prostitution. There's a point, apparently some prostitutes came there, and he had texted him, Payne had texted him and said, hey, I'm going to probably, womp womp with a hoo right now tonight. And I think that whenever that happened, like, he said, no, don't do that. He came over there, talked to him. Prosecution's trying to say that, he paid the prostitutes off. And then on top of that, said we have to stop this for abandonment. He did, but they didn't commit suicide, Queen. Though this came out today. So this came forward. They were trying to prosecute him and the prostitutes and the people who gave him drugs for his death. But we came to find out today that a judge came forward and said, no, we're not going to let you charge this guy for abandonment, because on top of that, this is a different kind of case. It's not a federal case. It's a local case. And so the federal prosecution shouldn't have any kind of jurisdiction here, so it's going to be thrown out. But on top of that, too, news came out forward from the actual incident. And this is insane to me. Apparently, he had a I guess he used to do this all the time. He used to like to jump out windows and get out of hotel rooms to escape. That was the thing that he used to do. And apparently at this time, his friend said that he was actually not drunk. Nothing was wrong when he left him. It was an hour before he died. And it was an accident because apparently he had a hat on. He had a backpack on. He was trying to jump over the balcony to get out of the hotel to get free. And that time he fell to his death, unfortunately. It's just really sad to hear about that. And again, this whole thing blew up about being like suicide for a long time. He's all messed up. They're trying to blame his friend. It's the saddest thing. But this guy apparently just accident, fell to his death. Something that he's been doing for years, jumping out of hotel room windows, like crawling out. So he was going to try to get to the next balcony apparently, and he slipped and he fell. And he's done that multiple times to escape when he was trying to get away from paparazzi, get away from people. And it's unfortunate we lost an amazing person during that time, and it's really sad. But I think that it's like something also tells us about the country, and also about when it comes down to about like what we're doing in the court cases, because you're trying to charge his best friend for abandonment that he's been there from. He was there from almost the whole day, and on top of that, he was wearing a hat. He was going to jump off this balcony to escape himself, and you're still trying to charge somebody for his death. That's insane to me. Again, all the evidence is there, and you're still trying to take someone and ruin their lives. When it sounds like this guy was a really good friend to this person, and you can't stop somebody in a situation like this. You just can't. He was there most of the time. And now they're trying to say that he was paying off the hookers, and he was incentivizing him. I don't know. There's information we don't really know, but the fact that it's being thrown out, to me personally, I think that they should have left these guys alone, left the friend alone, and also just like, call a spade a spade. This is what happened. It was an accident. He hurt himself. He died, and he caused a lot of issues. And the music industry is very, it's very fragile. We've lost a lot of big musicians throughout our days from drugs, from alcohol. Again, it's the biggest thing. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, right, Carter? And it's really sad to hear this. Carter, when you hear about this, how do you feel about the prosecution going after his friend? And are you shocked that like right now is the time that they would try to charge somebody else when it was clearly an accident?
Yeah, the fact that they're going after Liam Payne's friend, press charges on him, that's a little bit baffling to me, because the situation in and of itself is quite tragic, and everything that's going on behind the scenes. I mean, the public is only able to know so much about what's going on behind the scenes. I think there was more to Liam Payne's death than we were actually being told. I hate to speculate. I'm not one of those conspiracy theorists, but I do believe that there was something much more tragic and much more sinister behind the death of this magnificent talent. And when one garners up such a mass acceptance like Liam Payne did when he was in One Direction or when he was doing his own thing, one can go a little bit crazy and can basically do everything he can to comfort him or herself to the point where they numb the pain and the loneliness of being so high at the peak of all peaks, where there's nowhere else to go but down as an artist, as a person, as an individual. To garner mass acceptance like that and having no way to cope with it, it can end up having very devastating consequences and circumstances.
Yeah, and Carter, being in the music industry, you see stuff like this too, and also like for you too, being straight edge, right? Like never touching drugs, alcohol, stuff like that, and being surrounded in this world like this. How does that make you feel? Does it make you like be like? Does it make you understand at all with them what they're going through? Does it make you understand like how hard the profession is? This happens to people, and how do you stay separate from that, Carter?
Well, the one thing that I know for sure as an artist is that one has to really understand. Your I don't like to use this word because it gets lost in translation, but it's true. You really have to understand what triggers you, what hurts you, but also what lifts you up altogether. And the thing is, myself, who's done this kind of music and has been doing music for 22 years to be exact, in the industry, it's a very insane and sometimes very private club. And whenever something goes wrong, whether you're in the industry or not, sometimes your phone will be ringing off the hook saying, "Oh, did you hear about this person? This person's passed away, or this person did this person did that." And in music or in movies, entertainment, just in general, there's a lot of insanity behind closed doors, but there's also a lot of misinformation in general out there. And myself, who's never been high or drunk in his life, not even taking cigarettes, weed, hookah, or vaping, the best way that I can cope with all of that is working out, checking my diet, and making sure that I'm staying the course with my own morals and virtues. So that's one thing I would encourage every single artist or any entertainer to do in general is stay away from the hoopla and focus on your mission, your morality, and your virtues first and foremost. Look out for number one at all times.
Man, Carter, the powerful words, man. Being involved with the rock and roll scene and what you've been doing in and out of different bands, and now having your whole new band together, and it's amazing, man. I really applaud you because it's a lot to go through. It's hard. It's hard for a lot of people not to fall into those demons. It is, and you see something like this, it's just tragic. And you're right. People are going to reach out to you too. They're going to ask you and be like, "What do you think about this? You hear about this?" Because you are so involved in the music industry. And it's just like I'm happy, man. I'm happy for you. I love you, man. I think that what you're doing, what you put out there, the drive, the motivation is fantastic to show people that yes, you can still do this without having to fall into those demons. And I really appreciate you like putting that forward. That's really awesome, Carter. Really appreciate that. Hell yeah, Carter. Yeah, appreciate you. Man, Mike, what do you think about that too? Do you think that a lot of people just like aren't as strong as Carter? Like, can this change? Can this business change? Because honestly, we can keep losing people like this crazy stuff. Is there anything we can do to change the messaging to actually get people to be safer and take care of themselves like we do, like Carter's saying to do?
That's a deep question, Brian. Is it going to stop? Unfortunately, I kind of doubt it because part of the job of the artist is to be fringe, is to find a perch away from the traditional lifestyle to give you a vantage point of what the rest of that looks like, wrap it up in some kind of metaphor maybe, and then feed it back to us from a different perspective that we're not getting from everybody else that's in the mainstream with the rest of us. So I don't see that going away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know, maybe we can all improve. Maybe we can all focus on our own mental health a little bit better and on accepting ourselves and on bettering ourselves all the time. Maybe if we give people some back roads out, like if we accept that, people have issues with addiction, people have all kinds of issues, that it's not shameful to address the situation that you're in at any given moment, that we don't have to dig ourselves deeper into a hole of avoidance, because honestly, avoidance is one of those major compounding factors for those kind of challenges. I don't know. Let's all do better. I hope we can all do better, Brian.
I hope we can all do better too. I really do. I think that, cases like this keep happening and we should be learning from stuff like this. And honestly, people already automatically go to, oh, he must have been suicide. Oh, it must have been drugs. Oh, it must have been alcohol. And then something could be such a minor incident like this that's an accident. And on top of that, we're already blaming like all the problems that happen in the business. It's just sad. And I hate to lose talents like this. We lose too many talents and stuff. But this happens in acting too all the time. Trevor, did you hear about this before while you were gone? Because this was something that was blowing up everywhere. There's been a lot of speculation. Again, they started blaming everybody else. They're pointing fingers. And do you think, like Mike's saying, do you believe that Mike's saying that can we do better? Can we do better, Trevor?
I heard a little bit about it. I didn't really look into it. I can't say I was a fan of his music. It's obviously a tragedy to lose somebody in this way, especially so young. I don't think that I have much I can add to the conversation. I mean, I think Carter basically nailed it.
Yeah.
I don't think that I have anything further to add, other than, like, it is fucked up to me that they're going after his friends over this, like, in a legal sense. It's
Yeah, what's abandonment? Is abandonment like some kind of charge that you can
I
cop
don't
in
know.
Brazil?
I mean, like,
does that happen in the United States? Because to me, like, if you get coked up and the hotel guys drag you away, like, bye-bye, I'll see you tomorrow. Like, abandoned, bro.
From the article that you sent, Brian, that I read, it seems like his friend like checked on him at least 3 times over the course of the night. It's like, it seems like he just took his friend and like put him to bed. He's like, look, you're higher than God right now. Like, go to sleep. Like, which seems like the correct thing to do here. And like I said, according to the one article that I read, it seems like he did go and check on him a number of times. So, like, to go and charge him in this case seems fucked up. And, like, as far as, like, doing better, it's like, I might be off base here, but, like, I'm thinking about, like Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain and, like, the way that people came after Courtney after Kurt died. And it's like, no, like, Kurt clearly, like, killed himself. She was afraid he would do it because he had attempted multiple times. And yet, like, the public eye, like, put all that pressure on her, like, oh, she fucking did it. And, like, somebody made a fucking documentary about her, which, like, showed no proof and proved nothing. It's like, yes, like, as like, consumers, I think we could do better. I think we should, like, not look for reasons to blame the people around someone when a tragedy occurs. So,
we're always trying to point a finger. That's kind of what happens. I think everyone's trying to point a finger, Trevor. Like, who made this happen? As opposed to just like taking a moment, look at everything, and just like assess it first before you start pointing fingers.
Right.
I think
he had the hat in the backpack. I mean, that's pretty conclusive.
You know what I mean?
The guy was on a mission. He was intending to go someplace. He had his bag packed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You found him that way, and you're still going to start pointing fingers. GR. Oh, you heard about this a lot. We've been talking about this quite a bit. Do you think that his friend is freaking out about all these charges? And you think that anything will actually, because the judge is saying they're going to try to throw it out, right? It shouldn't happen. But do you think there's any way that some local like prosecutor might come after him still?
No. I mean, it was a stupid charge to begin with. It's not even a legal crime, abandonment.
Abandonment, yeah.
It's a non-existent charge. I mean, come on. You're making shit up to get some press. This poor guy, his buddy, accidentally killed himself, however you want to put it. But it's a bloody shame was what happened. A young man, a young talent, dead over trying to get out of a room to get away from paparazzi, whatever. It doesn't matter what he was trying to get away from. The fact that he accidentally fell to his death is a bloody shame.
Yeah, I agree, GR. And you have a track record of doing it too, and I can't even imagine what you're doing to run away from people like that you're that desperate just to get out. It's just like, and you see that, it's just a shame. It's a shame. Whatever he was going, the demons he was battling, whatever was happening, my heart goes out to his family and his friends, that are actually fighting for their freedom right now too. It's a lot. Before we move on, Carter, you have anything else to say about the music business?
The music business has its perks. It's obviously evolved since when I was a young kid, since the 90s when I first started getting into music. But I think that it will always have new ideas whenever society changes. I feel like music will do the same. I feel like, there will always be a debate about it. There's always be politics involved. But overall, I think when you let the music be the music and the music business be the music business, when you have them as separate entities, I think that they can both have their positives and their negatives. But please, if you're going to get into the music business, enjoy why you're in music business first, is because you simply love music and you have a great ardency for it. So that's all I have to say about that.
Oh yeah, round of applause, Carter. Jack Burton still says it's suspicious. More information will keep coming out, but a lot of news broke on this. We had to talk about a big story circulating, and again, our heart goes out to you. everybody that knows him, knew him, and actually family, friends, all of that. And hopefully they'll heal and get through this. It's going to take some time, but hopefully they do. Hopefully we'll learn more from this too.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.